Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today you're looking at my custom Brandon Routh Superman, a McFarlane's release. And what I've done, as I spoke about previously, is I've managed to finally wire out that cape, and I am really pleased with the way that looks. And I don't know why he didn't do it in the first place, Mr. McFarlane, but now it's done, I'm happy. And it's pretty easy to do. I checked it on the YouTube first, and what I saw was exactly what was in my head. So when I got that wire, I clipped it to size and I thread it through to the cape, and it took probably less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get this, and I'm so pleased. So what you'll be seeing today is that figure being posed out. I'm going to try and manipulate the cape a little bit to create the fluttering of the cape in the wind, and I'm going to change out the hands and see what we can come up with. But I'm very happy with the way this comes across. So let's start it off with a change out of hands. Nice. Very pleased. So I've changed out the gesture hands and put in the fighting fists. And these are the fists that originally came with the figure. And every time I pose this guy, I'm going to try and change out the sort of cape look. But yeah, it's not too bad. I'm enjoying this. I'll just take it to a different angle so you can check that out. And when I reviewed him earlier on the channel, I kind of wasn't going to get him, and then once I did get him, he started to grow on me, and I thought, you know what, if I get that wide cape sorted, he's going to go up in my estimation, and he certainly has. So let's change out those fighting fists and see if we can get a bit more dynamics on the figure. So this is the next one, and I put in a flight hand, kept one of the fighting fists in. I'm going to fiddle with that cloak a better. I'm going to fiddle with it. It's not quite there, but you can see the width it can get once it's got the wire in. So let me just get that cape better. So I've tweaked it a little bit. Still early days, but I know I can get better cape effects than this, but I'm just giving you guys an insight into some different kinds of dynamics once the wire's in there. Let me just see if I can tweak it again, but I'll change out that flight hand. I actually changed my mind and put the other flight hand on. I mean, I did that for the Christopher Reeve review. And for what I remember from the last time I had this look with Christopher Reeve, I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but I certainly like it here. Really nice. Let's get another angle there. So I think off camera what I'll be doing is I'll be trying out different poses and trying to improve on my posing with the cape effects. But I think overall it's the first day of posing with this cape, and I'm quite pleased, but there's room for improvement. So let's get a close-up on this. And I've posed him on the platform this way, holding that Krypton crystal, which he throws into the ice at the North Pole, which starts off a chain reaction that constructs the fortress of solitude. But certainly, I think this is the favourite one so far. And it's all because of that cape. And what I'll try to do, because when I fed the wire in, I wanted to get it as close to the neck area as possible so that the cape sits naturally on the figure. Because if you didn't feed it to the neck area really tight, then it would look like it was too floppy or sticking up. So I'm glad I did that. And if you decide to do it yourself, you can get modeller's wire and then cut it to size. Make sure you blunt the ends so that as you're feeding the wire into the cape, you're not going to poke a hole in it. But that's a nice look for Brandon Routh Superman. I'm just going to get another angle because I like this pose. So I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. And it even looks good from far out. So let's just tweak that a little bit. So it's just a slight adjustment. And that looks okay. That looks very nice. Right then, let's do a couple of more and then we'll wind up this review. So I've got him gripping that iron girder. Nice to see it done on the flight stand. I've created this one with the Christopher Reeve Superman and I'm liking it. And I've tried to really stretch out that cape just to create a bigger movement on the dynamic of the pose. But I'm going to stay with this girder for now and see if I can get some different ones of him trying to bend the thing. I did it on the platform, not sure if I can do it on the flight stand or have the time to, but let's have a go. Well, this is a major disappointment. It was giving me so much hassle. I'm going to give this one another try because even when I make a cock up, I like to see it on camera just to see where I'm going wrong. So let's see if I can get that better. I know I can. So I had to abandon that one. It was getting near to what I liked, having that girder above his head, but I feel a bit like it wasn't going to be any better if I did it again. So I'll have to come back to it, but I've dropped that girder now and I've continued to change out the shape of the cape and I'm loving every minute of it. Nice dynamics. It can be one of those things with capes, if they're not wide, you don't have much of a range when it's posing the figure, but with the cape now wired, I've got a lot of ideas in my head. Alright then, let's go for one more. No, actually we'll go for two more and then we will end the review. Because I've shown you all the hands, so I'm just going to try one more thing with the girder, then I'll move to the last pose. I think this didn't turn out the way I wanted to. I tried to get him to grip the girder with both hands and he could do it, but his hand didn't look natural on that pose. I am going to try it again, because I never give up on things like this. So let's give that another go. I just wanted to do this one first. I just wanted to show you these hands off, the gesture hands or the gripping hands. The hands that are trying to get to hold the girder. And now I'm going to try that pose. That is becoming quite a challenge. Okay. Well, I will say it's a lot better than the two other poses you've just seen. And while it's not quite what I had in my head, I do like it. And the cloak is kind of a bit more subdued because I wanted to get the actual pose right. The cloak seems good though because the wires are there. So there is some movement with that figure. I want to have a go at one more on the flight stand, and then I'm going to do one pose of him on the platform. Okay, I have done this one on the platform, but I actually do like this better on the flight stand. Let's get some close-ups there. The cape's looking fine. Trying to create a little bit of wind in that cape. And I changed the dynamics of the legs there. But overall, it's nice to see this. So let's finish with the last one then. So, I actually like this shot. And they are actually in an area of my collection where in between them two you'll have Supergirl, but I decided to put these two side by side, posed out the capes, and that looks fantastic. And I just quickly come to Christopher Reeve's Superman, and having done a brilliant job of playing that guy, acknowledged as the best Superman ever, he decided to step down, and he had to find a guy who could resemble him and play the mannerisms of both Superman and Clark Kent. And so they came up with the movie Superman Returns. And that actor, Brandon Routh, or Routh, he played a brilliant job. As far as I'm concerned, although the story might be weak, there was enough about that guy that makes that film worth watching. And I actually like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I thought he did a good job. And Frank Langella played Perry White. Got the name of the actress who played Lois Lane, but I did like him in that role. As for David Corenswet, I have no problem with him trying to play the role. I just don't think he had the presence of Superman, and that was largely to do with the story. But I'm soon going to be watching Supergirl. Be meaning to catch up to that, but it's all about this guy and that wide cape, which took all of 2 to 3 minutes once I measured it out to put into the slots at the side of the cape, or the cavities. And there you go, some nice dynamics of that figure. Both figures by Todd McFarlane. And I say on that note, it's been a good day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And just before I go, I was gifted another figure by my mate. Check out Ray Ray's collection and subscribe. And it blew me away. I'm looking at it now. So I'm going to save that review of that figure for the weekend, because I'm going to have lots of fun posing him out before I start to film him on camera. So to my friend Ray, he's always been a good mate to me. I thank him from the bottom of my heart. Check out Ray's collection and subscribe. I love saying that, and I'll see you again next time.